Hello, everyone. My name is Angel Larena. Today, I am going to be going over the Advanced Club Officer Training. So before we begin, most of you have been in these roles before. You've been there, you've done it, you know what you're doing, but I always challenge everyone. We joined Toastmasters to continuously grow. There's a quote out there that says, to stop growing is to die. So the minute you stop pursuing growth is the minute you settled into dying. So let's all be alive. Let's all keep on growing and let's all learn as much as we can throughout this wonderful journey that is life. To begin, I'm going to go over the agenda. Now, we're going to talk about the roles. We're going to cover an overview of each role in relation to your club. We're going to talk about how to map success, assessing your club's status, the club success plan, pathways, and setting your goals. Then I'm going to share some updates that have recently happened and that are coming. So buckle in, prepare. We're going to try to make this as quick as possible and comprehensive so that if you need a refresher, you got it. Let's start with our roles. So we have the president. The president is the leader. They guide and lead the club. They form the vision for the club. So each club, highly encourage you, form a vision for your club if you're the president. Think about what the club and the officers want to achieve this year and form a vision around that. What is something that you and your club want to achieve? It's one role, but it spearheads the strategy. So you're going to take your vision and you're going to form a strategy around it. And that's going to be partially involved with the club success plan. It is one role, but you wear many hats and do many different positions. As the leader, each of us have the knowledge and the vision and the strategy to keep moving the club forward. But sometimes that involves us rolling up our sleeves, getting into work with whoever may be struggling. It's encouraging our other officers to keep going, providing them wisdom and insights and guidance. So at the same time you're the president, you may also be a mentor. You may be also working with the PR team to get the PR stuff out. So there's many different things you can do as a president. Next up, we have our VP of Education. They are the dean of the club. They are responsible to track out and guide everyone's educations. They are the guide. They're the chief guide of the club. They take your vision. They take your strategy, implement it, and help everyone get to it. They're also the head mentor. They are the person who should orientate and guide each and every member in the club or build a team of mentors to help them do that. They should be pushing people to new heights and new levels and helping them achieve their goals. They're going to spearhead the top 6 DCP goals. Did you hear me? 6. Out of the 10 DCP goals, VP of Education has 6 of them. They plan the meetings and the agendas. So this is very crucial. So if you've been a VP before and maybe you were in a club that did it once a month or once every 2 weeks or once a week, it's going to be a little different, or it may be a little different in the future. Next up, we have our VP of Membership. They do, all VPs of membership are lead recruiters. They are the head honcho on trying to bring new members into the club. They can run the Speechcraft program. They can implement this throughout the year to help build membership. They can work with the PR team and the president and the club to plan open house events for the club. And why 20? Well, let me tell you, 20 is the ideal number for every club to be at in order to run effective meetings and have no one overbooked or no one burning out. So every VP of membership's goal should be to get their club as close to 20 as possible by the end of the year if they do not hit 20 itself. So go out there and hit 20. And finally, the big thing here is make the ask. Every VP of membership should be asking every guest, would you like to become a member? Here's our application. Now, because of the world and COVID changing everything, I added some special notes for online and hybrid clubs that can really help elevate the VP of membership role for those of you who are still trying to figure out how to do it in this new setting. Have an online guest book. This could be a Google form. This could be a Microsoft form. It could be just a form on the website, as long as it can collect who is visiting your club. This can also serve as a gateway if you have a Zoom link and don't want to just post it out to the world. You could have them fill out the form for this guest book, and at the end, when the form submits, it sends them an email of their submission and include the Zoom meeting link in that. You could also create a Zoom registration form for your Zoom links and add questions to it so that it can serve as your guest book. So there's many different ways to do the guest book, but it's a really great tool to be able to keep in contact with everyone who's visiting. Have a PDF guest info sheet. Now, this is so valuable. One page, do not make it more than one page. Many people, if they have to read past the page, will not retain the information. Figure out what's the club's value, what's the key things that keep members and draw members to your club, and put that on a sheet so the guests can look it over and know the values, benefits of joining your club. Have an online member application. So and there will be a link to this on the District 100 website coming soon. We've created a template for an online membership application. We've taken the membership application that TI has graciously provided us, and we transformed it. We took all of the wording, all of the legal stuff from that form and put it into a Google form. This Google form can also be remapped into a Microsoft form, remapped into a website form. The general idea is it has to say and do certain things. And if you have an online one, especially if you're a hybrid or online club, it can really accelerate the membership application process. If you give them a form and you send them a PDF in email and you expect them to fill it out and send it back right away, it's not going to happen normally. If you send them a link to a form while you're in the meeting and say, hey, have you filled out the form yet? You're able to do it instantaneously. So this is a really great way to, like I said, make the ask and get those new members. And almost last, always greet each guest and make use of the chat in Zoom. So especially if you have a hybrid club, make sure either your VP of membership or your sergeant at arms or your PR person is openly in the Zoom chat room greeting every guest that comes in. And it could be private messages saying, hi, hey, what brings you here today? How are you doing? This accelerates the process, but it also reduces the time you have to spend, saying hi to everyone who may join in the meeting in the beginning. And it makes each person feel valued. And finally, like I said, always make the ask. Do not be afraid to go in and say, hey, would you be interested in joining our club? Here is why. I'd love to see you become part of our club. Next on, we're going to have our VP of Public Relations. This one is a very crucial role for every club. Be present. Now, I do not mean show up to every meeting as in being present. What I mean is be present in the venues and the promotional areas you need to be. If you are sending out bi-weekly newsletters or weekly newsletters, make sure they come out regularly, on time, and are readily available. Be on Facebook, be on LinkedIn, be on YouTube, be on whatever platforms are going to make sense to your club. If you're a corporate club, LinkedIn is a great way to garner interest if you're allowed to by your corporation. But also, I know there's entrepreneur clubs, there's leadership clubs, there's other clubs that benefit from LinkedIn. So be on there. Facebook, I know it's the epitome of everyone's existence, but it's not going away anytime soon. Make sure you learn it because it is the #1 connection app in the world right now. It is the #1 place where everybody is interconnected. It connects you to your family. It connects you to your coworkers. It connects you to your friends. It connects you to the groups you like to be in. So at the base level, the first to highly recommend is Facebook and LinkedIn. Next would be YouTube. Now, if you sign up for Facebook, guess what? You automatically can do an Instagram because it's all under Meta. And if you look in the on-demand playlist, there is a whole thing on social media to help everyone here learn how to handle these things. Next, I'd say share the members. You could share the values, benefits of Toastmasters, everything. What is the #1 thing that keeps members here in Toastmasters? Other than communication, leadership, and your growth. It is the connections we make. It is the lifelong friendships we form. It is the network we have. So share the members. Have your members post things out online. Have them get things out there. It is the #1 way. And guess what? If you do a campaign and get 20 people to do a 1 to 2 minute recording, guess what? Over the next couple months, you have recordings to use and you don't have to do it every month. Keep asking people. Next up is going to be get assistance. Yes, always be looking out for a person, 1 or 2 people who could help you run the PR things. PR is hard. It is one of the largest jobs in a club. And if done right, it makes or breaks a club. So please, please, please look for people, especially being that this is your second time going around it. Look for people, get some new people in and help them become you. Help them learn how to do this. Next up, we're going to talk about our treasurers. Now, the treasurers are going to be separated into 2 categories because treasurer is different for everyone. Corporate and university sponsored clubs are going to connect with that liaison. Connect with that person who's in charge of communicating to the company it's time to pay. Obtain the invoice 2 to 3 months early. So reach out to the club growth director, reach out to the program quality director, the district director, your area director, reach out to us. Reach out to any district leader and say, hey, I need an invoice to where we can get our company or our university to get our member dues in. So do that early because it could take some time to get those done and processed. Prepare a list of members. Yes, every 6 months, even if you pay yearly, you need to prepare a new list of all the active members. You also need to mark who is leaving, so who's not continuing, who's new and joining, and be sure to include that extra $20 for the first path for everyone who's joining. And just mark anyone who's continuing as continuing. And that will all go to the renewals team at Toastmasters. Now, we're going to talk about every other treasurer out there. Like I said, starting early. Why? Because often it's the most grueling task of any person. They hate asking for money, but is a crucial component to making sure everything's done on time. Start 2 to 3 months early. Now, I don't mean saying, hey, it's due, pay up 2 3 months before it's time. What you could do is say, hey, our renewal cycle is approaching in, 2 months. Say we're starting 3 months early. Our renewal cycle is approaching in 2 months. I wanted to take a moment and remind you, if you would like to pay early, you can pay early. And depending on what your club does, you have different options of paying. So just start the reminder process early. Start easing them into it and say, hey, if you want to take care of it now, you can. Because I guarantee you, if they're anything like me, and I get a reminder like that, I'm like, okay, cool. I have a little bit of money. Let me pay it now. Now, self-pay. One of the most, it's an ingenious feature, and it's gotten so much better since they've released it. If you have self-pay activated, everyone can go in and make their payments to your club. Why is this important? Well, If I'm a member and I get a notification saying, hey, it's renewals are coming up, I don't have to worry about how I'm going to send my money to you. I don't have to worry about that. I could just go into the TI website and pay it. Now, I may not know how to do that, and that's why there's trainings on that, but it's much easier to do that. And for those of you who collect club dues, let me give this word of advice. Either way, whether you enable it or not, you're gonna have to track people down. The thing I always tell people is that payments to TI impact your club. They can lose you access to Club Central. You can get things messed up because you don't pay things on time because you're waiting for people to pay. Now, if you have people paying to TI and then you're tracking them down for club dues, it is impactful, but it's not going to close your club down. It's not going to risk you losing access to anything. And the beautiful part of this is if for one cycle someone does not pay their club dues, you can actually select individually whether or not they can renew through self-pay. So the self-pay system is very intuitive. You can totally select if a person hasn't paid their club dues, they can't renew online. That is totally a thing. And if you have questions about that, reach out to me and I can definitely help you with that. I just want to let you know about that because it's one thing keeping some clubs from doing it. Ask and remind. So don't sit there and say, hey, it's due, pay up. Ask them, hey, are you renewing? Are you how is your experience going? I just want to take a moment to remind you that our club dues are coming up and you have the option of going in and paying for, 1 or 2 cycles. If it doesn't allow you to do 2 cycles, you can actually pick each cycle twice. FYI, renewals are already open for the next cycle. So just go in there and, ask them early. If they're willing to pay early, get it in. Because what happens, it reduces your job as a treasurer later on. And finally, be ready to assist. Everyone has trouble with technology. Everyone has trouble getting their money out. So be ready, if they have questions or if they have concerns or if they just don't know how to do something and need some help. You can always be ready to assist them. Next up, I have a special treasurer note for everyone, and this is highly important. In California, all in-person and hybrid clubs, any club with a physical address in California must submit a 199N. Normally, these are due when the taxes are due towards April of May or May of the year. So if you're a 6-month term, you don't have to worry about this unless you continue for the next term, but make sure you get these 199Ns in to the website. You can find information on this on the TI website. If you use the search bar and type 199N and enter, it'll pull up the information for you. You can also get in contact with us, your district leadership, if you need any help with it. And additionally, if you're in any other state or country and attending this training, please note that things could be different for you. Like most of the states in the US do not require this. So just make sure you need to confirm if you need to submit anything, confirm with your district leadership. Normally, if you're ongoing in a club, you already know if you need to. Then next up, we're going to talk about the secretary position. A secretary will keep the minutes. Why? Why is that so important? Well, if anyone, especially in executive committee meetings, if anyone has a question on what was decided, what happened, you have minutes ready to go. If in a club meeting, someone wants to know when's the last time someone gave a speech or when's the last time someone did this or anything, you have minutes to go off of that could be searched. Most importantly, if you are an in-person or hybrid club and you have a bank account, in order to change over your bank account, you actually have to have minutes declaring the next officers. So that can be really crucial. One of your main jobs is to assist the president. You are the president's assistant, basically. So help them get things done, help them keep the club records, make sure that you maintain everything, all the history. And you can send any important communications. It could be the membership PR or you that sends out meeting reminders. You could send out messages from the president to all the members. So it's kind of up to the club and all the members how this happens. But Normally, generally, this is what will happen. And finally, we have the sergeant at arms. Now, this is also broken into two categories. For online, you're going to open the Zoom room. You're going to notify everyone when to start. You're going to greet the guests and share that information sheet we talked about. If you're primarily most likely going to be the Zoom master. And you're going to prepare anything needed for the meeting. Now, if you're in an in-person club, you're going to open and set up the room, prepare the information and handouts, greet anyone coming in, and remind people to open the meeting on time, and break down and keep the club items together and keep the area clean. One remark before we continue. I know this one's very quick because it's it's a very quick description to a very in-depth job. If you're in a hybrid club, you're going to do some sort of combination of this. My number one recommendation is to pair up with the VP of membership to help, balance it out, or get a Zoom master. Get an extra assistant person who can help you do some of the tasks so that you're not splitting yourself between both. This way, you have both managed completely well and properly. Next up, let's talk about some top tips for all the officers. I know you're all continuing and you've all been there and done this. One thing I like to say is change it up a bit. Think through everything you've experienced. Think through what you've done. Think about what worked and maybe what didn't. And see if there's any way you can flip things around, change them up to help increase the impact and value you're generating. This is a great way that if you've been a VPM and you're continuing this year and you maybe didn't recruit as many members as you wanted to last year, to figuring out a way you could possibly recruit more people the next year. Have fun. One of my mentors always says this, and I do like this quote. It's quite funny, but she calls it riot, and it's relax. It's only Toastmasters. So remember that we are officers, we're responsible, we have high drive, but have some fun while you're doing it. If you're not having fun and you're not growing, we're not going to enjoy the experience we're doing, which leads to some burnout. Aim high, don't aim low. Aim for 20 members. Aim to be president's distinguished by the end of the year. Get those goals and make them high. Be open and honest with each other. This is crucially important. If I am getting burnt out or if I am feeling like I can't do something, the first thing I want to do is to shut down and act like it'll disappear and tell no one, because I don't want to be a failure. But I've learned over time, and I'm hoping everyone else has learned this. If I tell someone I'm working with, hey, I'm overwhelmed, I'm burning out, I need help, I normally have a couple of people willing to step in and help me out and finish something. This is highly, highly, highly important to all of you who are currently going into these roles. Be open and honest with each other. You're a family, you're a team. And the only way you could work together and share the load, which is our next point, is if you are open and honest with each other. And work together and share the load, which is highly important. Some of you may have done this before and worked on only your role, but sometimes the VP of membership and the VP of PR will work together to do an open house. Sometimes the VP of membership wants to run a campaign, a membership building campaign, and needs PR on it. So they're going to help do some PR for the club. Maybe the VP of education needs help getting some mentors for the club. So that, there's many different nuances with it. But remember that each person may operate a bit differently and may need some help at times. So work together, share the load, be open and honest. And ask for help early. If your club has 12 members or below, reach out to your program quality director, club growth director, and ask for a club coach. It's an external perspective. It's someone coming in from the outside that can give you a different perspective on your club and help you grow and adapt and magnify your club. So really get with them and help them. Mapping success. Well, let's talk about this part. How do we map success? The first thing we need to do is understand the club's status. These are highly, highly, highly important, and all are very dependent on membership numbers. So at each level of membership, you get different things. Every club has different statuses. If you have 8 or more members above, you are active. You are classified as an active club, which means you have access to everything. However, if you are below the 8 and it's, you're losing things, you're classified as a low or ineligible, which means that you can do some of the things. You can hold meetings, but you can't go to contests. You can't vote in district business. You can't vote at the annual business meeting, and you can't participate in the Distinguished Club program. So please, please, please evaluate where your club's at. There's not many clubs at below the 8 level. Now, if you've been lower and eligible for a full renewal period, you must be reinstated because you will be suspended. So if you fail to meet renewals one cycle, and by the next renewal cycle, you don't meet renewals again, you will be suspended. And suspended clubs lose access to everything. So it's highly, highly. So what is our target? Our target as officers is to always remain active. But the goal, what is our goal? Because we're mapping success, charter strength. 20 members in each of our clubs will keep us strong. Next up, something highly crucial to map success is you have to know where your club is. The moments of truth. How are we doing? The moments of truth encompasses things such as first impressions, membership orientation, how your meetings are being run, your membership strength. It's a very objective and realistic view of your club. So at the beginning of the year, if you're uncomfortable getting it done, ask your area director if they can please do a moment of truth for your club. This will greatly help you do your club success plan and get the success mapped out. And of course, one thing we encourage all area directors to do is do the visit reports, which are structured around the moments of truth. So read that report. When you get a notification for it, read it. Then you're going to meet with that area director and discuss the report. Ask them for more insights. Ask them for more in-depth insight into their report. And then finally take that report and form solutions around it and use it to grow your club and get better. And then, of course, while you're mapping success, you're going to start working on your club success plan. That is highly, highly, highly crucial. The club success plan is the critical element in mapping out your club success. It maps out the whole success throughout the entire year. It breaks it down. It tells you how you're going to get from point A to point B. It can give your whole team a guide, and every member in the club can use it to track how the club is doing. It'll allow the team to come together and collaborate and set a goal that everyone is happy with and everyone can see themselves achieving. Next up, one other important part is pathways. Yes. Why, Angel? Why are you bringing pathways up again? We hate it. It's not the best, or we love it. Whatever your solution around pathways is, it's still a critical element to the club's success. 6 of your DCP goals are based around education. So that brings me to my first point. Every member should be in the program. Every member. If we are paying Toastmasters to grow and learn and be there, let's try to make sure everyone is doing that. Assign people to help those who need it. Some people don't know how to work that damn computer. Some people don't know how to do the things related to pathways, or just find the system so frustrating that they can't do it. So get some people who are good at it and have them help those who aren't. That is a really great way to get them all involved. Mentor and guide your new members. So whenever you have a new member come in, have your VP of education or your VP of membership or a mentor get with them and get them in pathways. Have them map out their first speeches and get them going. Provide challenges. Like many of you, been there, done it. I've done so many pathways. So I'm always thinking of how can I even do this? Well, provide a challenge. Elevate that project. Make it something new. And that comes to my really fun point is don't work for pathways, make it work for you. Everyone tries to apply the project or pathways to their lives, or we're trying to apply whatever we're trying to apply whatever we're doing into a path. Or we're trying to make that path into something we're doing. So instead of that, try thinking about what you're already doing. Take the skills from those projects and see which skills line up with things you're currently doing. And then that can help you really figure out, oh my God, I just did that project and didn't even think about it. And finally, never speak for free. Anytime you present to an organization at work, try to have another Toastmaster evaluate it. Even if you have to record it, send that recording to another Toastmaster in your club, get it evaluated, and it counts as a pathway speech. You could do this with your members. It's a great way to meet education if you don't have enough speaking slots in your club. Next up, we're going to talk about setting and tracking the goals. This is the final step in mapping success. Obviously, club success plan, living document. Go in there throughout the year, edit it as much as you need. We have an entire training just on the club success plan. That will help your club be successful and get where you need to be. The 12-week year. This is a great format and a great framework to set goals. It breaks your goals down into 12-week cycles throughout the year. And you could set different goals throughout the year. Like the first part could be membership. The second part could be education. It depends on what you're wanting to do. But we have an entire 12-week year training for you. So please, if you are interested, go through it. It can really help you in your life and in Toastmasters set goals and meet them. Bad news early. Yes. Oh my God. If someone's leaving, we want to know earlier because we can try to fix it. If something's happening within the club, let the district know early because they can try to help you before it gets too rough or too bad. So go out there and get that bad news early. Work together. I can't tell you how much it means when you don't work in a silo and you're all working together to achieve success. It's one of the best things ever because no one's getting burnt out. Everyone's having fun and you're all in it together. And finally, on this part, aim high. Don't set a goal to just be distinguished or to just get 12 members. Hit 20 members. Hit President's Distinguished. Put your goals high because you're not going to aim for the sky if you're setting your goals on the ground. So make sure you set your goals high. And then for our final section today is updates. So there's been some recent updates, and it's not many, but there are a couple. Number one is self-pay. Self-pay rolled out this last year, and it started roughly, but it's gotten much better. So if you don't know about self-pay or if you're unsure about it, please reach out to your district leadership, reach out to me, reach out to whoever. Let us know. We can definitely walk you through it and help you with it. It is one of the best things for your clubs in terms of payments. And then finally, the next thing, the board released this recently. They are extending the base +3 requirement for 1 more year, at least for now. So for the coming year, it is your membership goal, on the DCP report is base +3 or a 20. So you will have a goal to hit 20 members if you have 17 or more members at the beginning of the Toastmaster year. So if your base is 17 or more, If it's below 17, it's going to be base plus 3. The next, some upcoming changes, which are really important to note. Just notate them down, get it ready. Pathways and base camps will be changing. They have not told us exactly when, but it is coming up. So just make sure that you're a bit ready, make sure that you're gearing up for it and that you're ready to have a little bit of confusion and some questions. The district will be here to support you, and we will fully help anyone who needs it. So just let us know when it comes out if you have any troubles. And I added one last note for this one. It's called any other changes, because as a club officer and as a leader, adaptability is the number one thing that we can have to elevate our game. There could be many changes coming throughout the year. There could be many things happening. So make sure that you are ready and adaptable for anything that comes your way. Finally, some resources for you. The district website, at least for District 100 members, d100tm.org. Your area director is the primary resources, primary club contact for you. The TI website, toastmasters.org. Any district officer. So if your area director is not available, you can reach out to your division. They're not, you can reach out to the trio, you can reach out to the committee chairs. Ask someone for help is the point. Don't wait, because if you wait too long, it could fall apart. Mentor. Get yourself a mentor. I have 3 or 4 mentors that I heavily rely on. Everyone should have a mentor to help guide them and push them to new levels and aiming high. Now, as we end here, I want to thank you for your time and say that I genuinely appreciate and respect the decision you've made to step up for your club, not for the first time, but again. I want to let you know that you are valued and very appreciated, and thank you for all you're doing to better the program for our members and for your clubs. If you need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. Let us know. We'll always be there to guide and support you. Thank you very, very much, and I hope that you have a wonderful and very great day. Thank you.